What's up, guys? It's your boy Jarod and Gabby. We are back. Gabby,
Woo.
what is happening out in those sneaker streets?
I feel like I say this every time, but it's been a week. Every week
Yeah,
is a week.
every week you have these dramatic things happen to you.
I swear, I'm save the drama for your mama kind of girl. I don't like to live in a world like that. Quote Mary J. Blige, no more drama.
No more drama?
That's how I live my life. But that's not how my life wants to live me. You know what I mean? I can't help it. It just, even in quarantine, when I am bored in the house and I'm in the house bored, stuff still finds a way to happen. I mean, taxes were due this week. So
yeah,
that
man.
was dramatic.
Yeah. And Gabby, for that, we'll get to your accidental purchase, but that's something that we as freelance creatives, tax time is stressful for us, right? It's okay, are we getting all this stuff written off? What's happened? Oh God, remember that trip we took to wherever? Yeah, nah, that was business. We got to get that written. It's because we don't want that bill coming due. You owe Uncle Sam $4,000, and it's yeah, nah, I'm not here for that.
I wish I only owed Uncle Sam $4,000. I'm this, it's hard out in these streets. But what a week! I survived tax day.
Very good.
I've lived to tell the tale. Exciting stuff.
At least for another year. We'll see how it goes next year.
Yeah, I think you'd miss me too much, so I have to figure out a way to just get through it. But in perfect form, when my taxes are due and my freelancer fees are due, I also accidentally bought a pair of sneakers because, your girl is amateur hour here all the time.
Accidentally.
So, yeah, it was a complete accident. I mean, y'all know that your girl loves a good Cuban link, and we talk a lot about women's sneakers and the resale market. So I like to play the market.
Yep.
It's
like QVC, but for this generation.
Yeah. It's like my version of the stock market is StockX. So I like to watch the stocks. They go up, they go down, they ebb, they flow. You know what I mean? I like to learn about the market. I want to make smart investments.
I want to bid, maybe,
So we all know that I love the Railto one. So I was like, let me put in the retail price as my requested bid. So I like to watch them. That's how I get my notifications. Little did your girl know that sometimes when you put in the retail price, what baby wants, baby gets. So baby got it, and she wasn't necessarily ready to want it. So Cuban links are on the way. It's probably going to arrive before the champs.
The
11 lows that I ordered.
Yeah,
it feels like 2 weeks ago now. They're still on the way. Can't wait. It's going to be here in time for Hanukkah.
I will say this, everyone out there can appreciate that, because I'm sure unless you grew up in an environment where you always had access to money. All of us had those periods either in college, either now, either whatever, when, that money's starting to act real funny, and you're watching your account, and you're and you can't have something come out of your account when it's not supposed to, right? Because then you're what?
There are consequences to those actions as adults. Yes, you can't just bid on things and hope for the best. I mean, as a child, I used to do stuff like that all the time. It was great. It's a learning, but you think
now it's
now ruined.
Now it's ooh, that rent check may not go through now if that right. And it's
rent always comes first. Sneakers are second. Utilities are somewhere down here. I got a ring light I can plug into the outlet, so I don't need the rest of the What a life I live, right?
No, but I think the reality of it is that's not a unique situation. All of our listeners and audience, you guys can all appreciate that at some point in your lives. These things happen, and you're oh, I can't really, and you're trying to figure out, how do I move this money over here and make sure this is covered? It's wild, especially now, all jokes aside, in these COVID times, man, it's not easy out there. So, folks, I just, try not to make any bidding mistakes on StockX.
Okay, I had 2 kidneys. I gave one of them away for it, so we're gonna be good. I'm good for at least another month.
Try to just observe. Don't necessarily click that bid button. Wait until you know your money, your finances are straight. But Gabby, we are so excited. This is an action-packed show we have today. We are going to have a special guest. Or I'm not going to say who it is. What I'm going to say is he is a New York City basketball legend. And Gabby has a jersey on that will give you a clue as to who this player might be.
If you guys can name this jersey, I don't know, maybe I'll send you the Cuban link sneakers that I accidentally bought. Don't quote me on that one, but I'll be very impressed.
Hold her to it, guys. Get in those DMs. See if she'll give you those sneakers. But we'll be back with our special guest in just a moment. Hey guys, we are back, and as promised, Gabby, we are not alone. We are with New York City basketball legend, and when I say legend, I'm going to get into that. Kenny Anderson. Kenny, what's good, my guy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me, both of you guys. It's really a pleasure. It's really a pleasure to be on, just, talking, sneakers, basketball, everything in life to my New Yorkers. I love it.
We love it. And of course, Gabby's got to show up representing with her New Jersey Nets Kenny Anderson jersey.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's
all day. Trade for Special K. Absolutely.
That's what's up. That's where it all started for me at. So I give the New Jersey Nets much love.
So what I want to do quickly for the young folks out there, because, Kenny, we got a lot of young fans and young people. And what happens, as you know, as time goes on, all you know is what's current, and you don't know. A lot of people don't know what came before them. So I just want to give people a little snippet to understand when I say legend, what I'm talking about right now. Because people, legend, no. Let me give you some game on this, and you people understand what I'm saying. So obviously, Kenny from Queens, born in LeFrak City, which is good.
No doubt.
By the way, LeFrak City, home of Nori, shouts to Nori, Prodigy, Coogee Rap, Kenny Smith, a lot of people from that area.
Yeah.
Guys, Kenny was a 4-time Parade High School All-American at the legendary Archbishop Molloy High School. 4-time All-City, Mr. Basketball in the state of New York, McDonald's All-American, Gatorade National Player of the Year. Just that alone, do you guys know how many people have been 4-time Parade All-Americans? Oh, I know, 2. Kenny Anderson and a player you may not, you young kids, a player by the name of Lou Alcindor. You'd be like, I don't know who Lou Alcindor is. Yeah, you do. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If you are ever on a list with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and you are it's only you two, legendary status, people. Yeah. Respect this man and that game. Legit. Yeah. Obviously went to Georgia Tech, took him to the Final Four in 90, All-American, 2-time ACC Rookie of the Year. Went to the NBA number 2 draft pick in 91 by the Nets, 94 All-Star game. I mean, this guy is the truth. So I had to let people know, Kenny, because, these young kids, sometimes they don't know their history. I gotta put them up on game.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta put my kids on game too and just let them know my history, and they don't know. So you got to just speak to them and let them know, hey, I played here, I did this, I did that, and explain. And that's what I have to do, nowadays.
I mean, in many ways, Kenny, your game was ahead of its time. Tiny Archibald, famed point guard, who I know talked about your game and said, you could do it all. You can get to the rim, shoot it from deep. I mean, the mid range. Your game was really ahead of its time, and of course, you could dish the rock as well. Can you talk to us about your evolution and how you learned to play the game, and who were your influences coming up?
Well, I went to my guy, my mentor, Vincent Smith. That's Kenny Smith's brother. At LeFrak. He started it. And I met him at the Lost Battalion Hall right on Queens Boulevard. That's where we played, because the winters we had to go inside. So we went into the recreation center, and, that's where I played majority of the time, or in my in LeFrak City in the parks. But Vincent Smith was someone to me who, without him, I wouldn't have made it. Without him. No me, no him, vice versa, however you want to put it. And he taught me how to play the game the right way. I always had talent, but he taught me how to play the right way. And his brother went to Archbishop Molloy High School, Kenny Smith. And I always wanted to go to Molloy. That was my sights was on Molloy High School. And in order to get in there, you had to have good grades. And that's where some of the hard, I went to IS-61, 7th and 8th grade, IS-61, LeFrak right over there. And I had to improve myself academically. And that summer was a lot of work, to get in Molloy. But I did it and got in. It was the happiest time of my life, getting in there playing. I get a little emotional.
Yeah, man.
Talking about Molloy High School. because it gave me everything. It gave me everything. I had a great coach, and Jack Carey, who passed away about 6-7 years ago. He passed away. It just, the whole school, Brother Terrence, my math teacher, Miss Longerano, Miss Lonigan, they was there. They was there for me. And it wasn't so much basketball, but just in life in general. And those people mean the world to me. They mean the world to me. They know that. Basketball is okay, is another, but in general, how I was raised and brought up through Molloy High School was awesome.
Kenny, and I can feel the emotion over here. I can see Gabby starting to tear up on her side as well. But this is, I think I want to go there, right? Because you said, and we'll get to the basketball in a minute, but what was it about that family atmosphere there and you working so hard and qualifying academically to get accepted, and what that meant, and those adults and people working with you? Because I know as a young child, right, one of the things that happens is, for you had some traumas in your life coming up, right? And so to have a family structure and adults who were looking out for you, that's so important that kids don't realize. Like, when you're a kid, you look to adults to be the people who guide you. And when you don't have that, that causes a lot of problems in your life. And when you find it, all you want to do is stay there. And that's why I could tell Archbishop Molloy means so much to you.
Well, I'll give you my day for 4 years. 7:30 in the morning, I would go to school, and I would stay there at 9 at night. I would stay at my school because we had practice at 4 o'clock. So I would do my homework and stay in the school and do my homework and everything, and then go to practice and then go home. And I did that for 4 years. So it was just you learn a lot. You learn a lot doing what I was doing. Just the teachers was involved, study periods, tutoring sessions that I stayed after I said we could do it. I got out at 2:18. So school, and we practiced at 4 o'clock. So I had time to study and do everything I needed to do for school. And then I went home to LeFrak City, which is total, mainly black. In my neighborhood, my mother, just a single parent home. It just was, it was crazy. Vincent Smith lived in the next building. With his family. Kenny Smith had that structure because he had his father and his mother living with him. He had the structure. I really didn't have structure until I met, Vincent Smith. And I had structure in my life, and they would stay on me about doing well in school. It made me realize how important school was, because they said, Vincent said, you don't have any money, so therefore scholarships was very important to me to get, and you had to, you had to have good grades and basketball skills, and that's all I concentrated on when I was in high school, because I had a great mentor, Vincent Smith, who told me this, over and over. When we worked out, he would tell me, so it was just embedded in my head. And I just, I kept working, and everything for me started getting better. So 4 years, first year All-American, All City, every year.
That
as
is
a youngster, 15 years old, I was an All-American, All City player. 15 years.
Yep.
So I grew. I had to grow. And in school, Archbishop Molloy made me grow as an individual. And the person I am today, I give everything to Molloy, Archbishop Molloy. Being brought up in that situation, and that white, black, Chinese, all just grew up in that situation and had to understand that made me who I was
No
who I am
doubt.
today. Archbishop Molloy High School.
No doubt. And back then, and Gabby, I know you're gonna jump in with a question here in a second. Back then, the basketball, I mean, to be all like, I want to stress to people how important it is. Like, do you know how hard it is to be a parade All-American? Like when you're a freshman,
even just one time, one time, let
as
alone
a freshman. This man's in it four times all city, and city basketball, New York City basketball back then was legit. Okay, ain't no scrubs making no all city. Like that's not how that game works. No. And you are in a long lineage of famed New York City point guards, right? Like that, it's incredible. And obviously, you said the grades were important. Yes, obviously your basketball talent is what got noticed, but you had to qualify to get into Tech, right? Yeah. Tech's not all right, cool, just come on. That ain't how Tech works, people. Like, I don't know if you know about that, but Georgia Tech doesn't work that way. The technical institute part of that university's name has a lot to do with how difficult it is to get in there.
That's the technicality right there, Gotta have that structure. Mm-hmm.
That's another part. Archbishop High School on to Georgia Tech. Very difficult college. Very difficult college. I put in my first year, I did extremely well because I believe my first year was like my last year, my junior year in high school. My first year in college wasn't that difficult. And then as you progress, everybody knows how college goes. You progress. Sophomore year, that's when I went pro. Sophomore year was getting there. You saw it was getting very difficult for me. So I left. I went pro. And then I went back to school at St. Thomas University, and I got my bachelor's degree, from St. Thomas, which was great. They took about 60 of my credits from Georgia Tech.
Amazing.
And I got my bachelor's, so that was something I really I talked to my kids about. That I did go back to school and I got my degree. That was really big for me. 2010. I got that and it was happy. I wish my mother was living for her to see what I did. She would have been so happy for me just to go down that aisle to get my bachelor's, because I told her I was going to go back to school when I, finished playing ball and or during my basketball career. I just didn't. But 2000, it was just awesome, man. It was
Congratulations,
awesome.
Man. Congratulations.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I want to know, just because I grew up going to Nets games, I mean, you guys who know me know I live and breathe for the Knicks, but Nets games is where I got into basketball. Like I'm from Jersey. Don't let the hoop earrings fool you. I know I sound like I'm from New York. But how did it feel coming to New Jersey, getting drafted by the Nets? Was it like a homecoming for you?
Exactly. It was a homecoming. It was just so exciting. I remember being drafted by David Stern when he called my name. I went number 2 in the draft. I thought, I was definitely going 3. Sacramento Kings really wanted me. I went on a visit to Sacramento and everything. I knew, so I didn't know what the Nets was going to do. New Jersey, and then boom, they Willis Reed was there, and they selected me number 2. I was just so ecstatic, just knowing that I was going to be at home. It was just a great feeling for me to get drafted by the New Jersey Nets and playing with Derek Coleman, Drazen Petrovic. It was just awesome. It was just awesome.
Yeah, that was a great team too. I know you mentioned Derek Coleman. I mean, Jarod and I were talking before this, and I was like, that team. It was like the trade for Special K and the DC3. It was like New Jersey has never been so lit. I mean,
it was a lit time, very exciting time, and you got my jersey on, so I got that's what's up. That's what's up. I really appreciate that. Wearing my jersey, but New Jersey it means the world to me through coming to NBA and learning. I learned a lot playing for New Jersey Nets and playing with Derek Coleman, Drazen Petrovic, and Willis Reed was the general manager. It was just a great setup for me to start my career.
Yeah. So Kenny, one of the things that's interesting is, right, so we talked about the rise, right? You're at Archbishop Molloy, all the accolades, you go to Tech, Final Four, All-America, All-ACC, all that. You get drafted number 2. You're in the league.
Yeah.
I have I mean, it's not like a groundbreaking theory, but it's just an idea that when you work your entire life and your goal is, I'm going to make it to the NBA, that means you have to be singularly focused. And my thought process is so many other parts of your life don't get the chance to develop because, yo, man, because there's only 450 slots in the league. And it ain't like there's 450 every year. There's maybe 30 every year, maybe, right? So this is all you're focused on. So obviously you get to the league, you're making money, you know, because a lot of it was how can you take care of your mom and your family. Talk about the pressures and what changed for you when the league started happening, money started coming, you're a young guy, 19, 20 years old, and it's a lot thrust on you. You're a professional. I got a house to maintain. I got a family to take care of. What were the challenges you were going through then?
Oh, it's very, very challenging for a young man, you know, to go through, you know, what I had to go through early in my career. And, you know, the first year I didn't play as much because Bill Fitch and then Chuck Daly came in and gave me the ball and said, hey, you got to do it. And I did it. I did great. But, you know, just everything, you know, being back home, it was a being back home in Queens area, New Jersey. So my mother used to cook dinner for me every night. You know what I'm saying? When we was home, I would go see her, and then I go, you know, stop off where my old neighborhood be, hang out with those guys, and that can be a struggle if you're not accustomed to it. And I really wasn't. So you know, I guess about 4 or 5 years into the league, I started being a professional. Being a professional. When I first came in, I wasn't a professional. I was just playing basketball. You know, I started being a professional, and I started understanding what I need to do to be in this league for longer periods of time. I needed to work on my game, to take care of myself better. The limelight, the light, you can always get that later, you know, off season for a couple of weeks, and then you can go into, you know, into your span of working yourself out, because you have to, and that's what a lot of these guys today are doing, just working out. And I give, you know, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, he's not here. Those, you know, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, those guys worked on their craft, and then when it was time, they did whatever, but they worked on their craft. Some guys sidetrack and don't work on their craft. Don't work on what they have to work on. Who gave them the money? Who gave the NBA is paid for us. So you have to continue on that level of play. If not, you won't be there. No, you won't be there. Somebody else get your spot. So you really got to take all that in. And I was able to do it as I got older in time. And that's just your skill level, your nutrition, and staying fit, and understanding that this game don't last forever. And you get it. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, does this journey in this part of your path come into mentorship now for you as a coach? And do you find it harder with all the pressures of social media and all the distractions that these younger players have? Is it harder? And I'd love to know how you apply your journey to that, because I know mentorship was so big to you. Yes,
it's harder, you know, with the social media. These young men, I never really had it, but the social media is crazy. You know, you gotta be aware of it, and I'm aware of it. But you know, you hope that now I'm at Fisk University, the NAIA school, coaching, you know, trying to give off, you know, my mentorship to some of these young guys that's trying to make it where I've been. And then you get the parents involved, and then that's where you get that gray area, and that's where it's pretty interesting in. But you just got to stay grounded and understand what's at stake here. You know, and I'm at an NAIA school, small school. You know, I'm just trying to teach those guys the right way. They know how to play basketball, but the right way to play basketball, and the right way to carry yourself, and the right way to to understand, the game of basketball, but also the game of life. And that's what I'm preaching.
Love that.
Absolutely. And Kenny, there is no better teacher in life than experience, right? I mean, it just,
that's a fact.
And unfortunately, for most of us, right, those experiences tend not to be great in the moment, right? It's and we're like, damn. But like, as you get older, you realize, okay, I learned that for a reason, and now I can impart it. You talked about when you got into the league. What were the things specifically that were hard for you to manage, right? You said going back home, hanging with your friends. Like, was it the limelight? Was it partying? What were those things that was hard for you to figure out? How can I manage and balance all this?
I'm a man, so I'll tell you. So the women standpoint was crazy. For me, it was a little bit out of control. I have 8 kids with 4 baby mamas, 4 baby mamas. And I was married. I'm married 3 times. Been married 3 times now. I'm married now, and it was the kids.
Shout out to Natasha.
Yeah, Natasha. Shout out. It was my. I've had 8 kids. 5 girls, 3 boys. Just learning. And I left my and this is where you get up. I left my mentor a little bit. I left him, and he was trying to explain to me, but I just didn't want to hear it. Left, and now I'm back with him. So these guys, these young men and you just don't understand until it happens to you.
Absolutely.
And, there's a lot of things that happened to me in my life, and that I'm trying to prevent. That my young guys that I coach, that they have to go through in life, and you don't have to go through it if someone your coach, your father, your mother, somebody that's been through it, that's trying to teach you, listen to them because it can help you. It can help you. It can help the way your paths in life. And and I don't take nothing away from anything. I'm glad that I learned some of these things. I'm so glad. I'm happy it didn't kill me. Certain things it kill me. Now I'm back on, and I'm living correctly. I'm coaching at an NAIA school and doing all the positive things in life. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing that God has given me, and I have to take advantage of it.
And Kenny, you hit something on the head right there, right? I mean, so much of it is about, and when you said that, it I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show The Wire, but it sparked on a conversation Omar's having with McNulty after his boy Brandon gets killed. And he says to McNulty, he's like, oh, yeah, Brandon went to the Greeks, whatever, and I didn't like him going there none by himself. But you can only try to control or tell a young man what to do for so long before he bucks, right? Yeah. And it's that thing, right, where when you're a kid in high school, okay, I'm going to listen to this mentor, but now I'm in the league. You can't tell me nothing. Like, I'm a grown man now, right? And so it's hard for you to deal with that, like someone trying to tell you, it's like, no, I'm good now. I'm here. I made it. Like, I don't, and so it's, again, the lesson you learn, and now you're back with him to be like, hey, you were an important force for me, right? In keeping me on the right path, and not even so much that you need to be told what to do, but someone to talk to and bounce ideas off of and say, hey, my man, this is what's going on. It's like, hey, I got you, to listen sometimes, right? Just listen, not even say anything. Just listen.
Yeah, and you gave my man The Wire some love. My man Jamie Hector.
Yeah, shout out to Marlo.
Marlo, that's my man. That's my man Marlo. Jamie, all love, baby, all love. No, but it's you live and learn, man. You live and learn. I'm just thankful that God has blessed me. Now I can give off and teach the guys that I'm coaching. Everything that I had to go through in life, and it wasn't pretty at times, but it was a good learning tool for me. And just want to thank everybody. I always say this. I want to thank everybody that's helped me throughout my journey in life. Everybody that helped me, Now you know who helped me. You out there. And that's just a blessing to me, man. I really thankful.
I love that. And I think what it comes down to too, and why mentorship is so important, is at the end of the day, even with all these mentors, you have to take the ownership yourself. And like, that's why we have so much respect for you, is that you put in the work, like from an early age. And to even recognize the importance of a mentor when you're growing up in high school, like that's other level. And we know that you do a lot in Queens and LeFrak Park and like with the basketball tournaments. I mean, how does that impact your day-to-day life today?
It impacts everything to me. LeFrak is my heart. That's where I grew up at, and they want me to bring the Kenny Anderson Classic back. And
yes.
I want to talk to the LCTA, the LeFrak City Tenant Association, and see how I can bring something back, because I had that tournament for 10 years straight, and it was great. It was awesome. So I need to talk to them. With the times that we're in now, it's a right time for it. Being together. We all sticking together in LeFrak City. Every time I pass LeFrak City on the LIE, I just give them the 2-piece. I give it a 2-piece. So it's changed a lot. LeFrak is where I'm from, and
that's still home, baby.
That's my home. I'll always be there. My mother, that's where we grew. That's where I grew up at, and I love it. I love having my tournament there because I seen it all come together. It was so much, so many people from the city played in LeFrak City, my Kenny Anderson Classic tournament, and it was. And you know what? The good thing about it now, I look back, I did it. I did it all by myself. I did it all by myself. Kenny Anderson Classic. I did it. It wasn't nobody, no sponsorships, I did it. With my own money. And, at times, it's crazy. Why you do it? Don't worry about it. I'm doing it. And we had the pool. We had at the end of the tournament, we gave out trophies to the winner, and then we had the barbecue right outside because the pool and everything. It was barbecue. Jay-Z came by. I had a lot of different actors and entertainers in the course of the years came by and really showed their respect. And I loved it.
That's awesome. That. And your journey and your story is incredible, and it's still ongoing, right? Because everyone knows you suffered a stroke recently. You're doing much better now. We're very thankful for that. I know you are thankful for that. What did that process do for you again in terms of another moment of clarity for you that you were like, okay, I understand this now?
God kept telling me, man. God, I said, oh, I was nervous. God, he kept, okay, what I got to do? So now, no, I get it, man. I had the stroke, and even now, even today, my memory, y'all doing a very good interview with me because my memory is. That's the only thing that happened in my stroke. My memory went out, and thank God, But other than that, it's great. I really do not like talking about it. My stroke is one thing, and I'm just moving on, trying to better myself, with it. But it was scary. It was very scary. And I just want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to teach and to coach these young men at Fisk University in AI. And it just my AD Glover, the president Kevin Rome, and Willie Jude, the vice president, giving me the opportunity that they saw that you can help some of these young kids, you can help our university. It's a blessing for me, and I just want to thank them for giving me the opportunity. And that's it, man. And I'm just I go to Vanderbilt Medical Tuesdays and Thursdays. Just my See, I can't remember some of the things.
Your PT.
Yes. With me Tuesdays and Thursdays with Jennifer, just to go over everything in my life that I'm going through, and that's coaching So she puts out my board and everything, and we get it all together. And that's just a blessing, man.
I love it, Kenny. We're going to get into sneakers in a second because, this is a sneaker podcast after all.
Right.
All right. Yeah. We about these kicks.
Yeah, I see.
Really quick, 2 quick things I wanted to wrap this on about just your journey.
Yeah.
Fisk is an HBCU.
Yes.
How important is that, and to be doing what you're doing at a historically Black college and university?
Oh, it's awesome, man. Right now, the time is needed. We're trying to get some of these great athletes in here. It's just, I want to give I forgot the kid's name that's going to Howard.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Howard, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
So that's give us more, in the HBCUs, a greater look. Who better than me? I played the NBA, I played college. Come, man, I can teach you. I can teach you more than just basketball on the court. So it's just a blessing, and hopefully we could turn it and get more great athletes coming to HBCUs. But therefore, you gotta have more scholarships. We gotta have more backing, more monies into our universities. So that's really a plus. That
absolutely. Shouts to McCormick, who's going to Howard. Excellent choice by him.
Yep.
And last thing before we get into sneakers, how important has Natasha been for you in all of this, and now as you move forward?
Oh, my wife has been, very important to me. Very, my third wife. I've been with her 16, 17 years.
Wow.
She's been a thing of gold. She listens to my doctors and everything. It's just so much she does, and she's been awesome. She's been just a great, and not me. She's just a great woman. She's just a great woman, and to have in your corner, because she wants the best for not only myself but for my family. My son Kenny Jr., Tiana is doing well, and that's what she strives for, to have a great family. And her family is great. She's from Panama City, Florida, about Greenhead.
Oh, yeah.
Greenhead, Florida is about 45 minutes from Panama City, Florida. Greenhead. She's just awesome, man. Her family. And I always say, those that act and the act of doing what she's doing, they come from good people. They come from a good family. And that's from her father and her mother, and she has a big family, 6 daughters and 9. It's 9 of them, and they got a very close family, and that's where she gets her. That's where she gets her life from, and it's just awesome, man. It's just awesome.
That's
Love
awesome.
that.
And we are happy for you. Well, let's get into some kicks talks over here. All right. Let's talk about your journey. When did you first start becoming aware of sneakers and their importance? I mean, obviously you hoop in them, of course, but when you started being like, you know what, like, nah, those are fresh, and you started recognizing, like, yeah, man, sneakers are a thing.
I guess my high school year, we had Puma. Archbishop Molloy, we was with Puma. We had the fly. The Skylex.
Yeah.
The light blue. We had light blue. Ain't nobody in the city had light blue. They was nice. The sponge bottoms, everything. It was awesome, man. So when I went to Molloy, we went with Puma, and it was great. It was a great sneaker. And then I from Georgia Tech, it was all Nike. I'm a Nike guy. I just love Nike. I went with Reebok. I went with Reebok.
Yeah.
4 years in the NBA.
Yeah.
I went with Reebok, and it was just for me at the time. It was just I wanted to change. I wanted to have that change. And Nike, it was right then and there. I just said, I'm gonna try Reebok, and I went with Reebok. But Allen Iverson had them on lock.
That's true.
You got them on lock. So, no, it was great sneakers, though. It was great sneakers. Reebok. It was great.
So you had was it like a bidding war? Or did Nike and were Nike and Adidas both courting you, and Puma courting you?
Yeah, it was. And then I went with not Puma.
Reebok.
Puma they were out of it, but it was Nike and Reebok, and it was just a little bit of money, and I just wanted to change. You know, when I just wanted to change. I knew Nike was Nike. I really didn't know Reebok, so I went with Reebok. And
we talk a lot about that too. How the game, especially in the '90s,
Yeah.
It was all about all those other brands. Like, we love your above the rim Reebok kicks. Like, those were fire. That was a vibe.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I mean, and Nike, it's your point. It's like Nike's always going to be there.
Yeah.
But it's like when these other brands had these moments, like Reebok with Allen Iverson, it's like, I think that was a smart choice to go in a different direction, not just join on the bandwagon with everybody else and go with Nike. So
yeah, me back then, that's how I was as a young man. That's how I am now. I'm gonna change. You know, I want to change. You know, and until I can't change no more. And you know, I changed. I went with Reebok. Reebok was awesome. I had no complaints with them. And then my contract ended, and they didn't really want to sign athletes, you know, a lot of pro athletes, because they gave all the money to Allen Iverson. So, you know, that's what they did. But I went with Puma. Puma didn't really sign me for no money, but the product. Product. They was trying to, that's what Vince Carter was with Puma, and I was with Puma, and Puma was great, but they didn't have a lot of money at the time, you know. And then you know, Nike, you know, somebody, you know, is always there. I played college, you know, in Nike, and Nike was always that shoe.
And do you still have some of them shoes in your closet? You got some of those Reeboks and those Pumas and those old kicks?
See, no, I should, but I don't. And I tell you, I wear Nikes all, but my thing was, you know, being from Queens, Run DMC, Adidas. I have my shell toe. I keep my shell toe in my closet. My black and white shell toe. My Stan Smith Adidas.
Hold up, we ready. Got the.
I got mine too. Stan Smith Adidas. So it's a Queens thing that I always, you know, I gotta wear. I love Nike, you know, but I gotta wear my Adidas.
I love it. Repping for the Q Borough always. I like that.
You know what it is.
Kenny, I mean, this has been incredible, my dude. Like, we've had so much fun talking to you. We wish we could talk to you for 2 more hours. This is great.
I don't know if you'd like us after that, but that's okay.
I see all your sneakers. Now, let me ask you something. Like, what sneakers you like rocking? What sneakers you like rocking?
So, I'm gonna ask though, what's the occasion? Like, if I'm gonna hoop, right now my basketball sneakers that I play in, I wear either Pumas or Jordans.
Oh, okay, Pumas or Jordan. When you just kicking around, just kicking it, what you like?
Oh, sheesh. It depends on the day. Because it's not just about the sneakers for me, right? So if I'm wearing like a Nike hoodie, I can't be rocking Adidas sneakers.
No.
Exactly. Thank you.
We don't do that. We don't do that here.
We don't do that.
No.
Now, let me ask you, it's all one brand, right?
Yes. Head to toe, you must be.
Or it's a neutral. Like, I'm like the James Bond of athleisure, where I have like 50 pairs of plain black leggings that I can just throw on. I have that flexibility. So if I'm like, you know what? I want to rock a jersey, or I want to rock something else, like, then I don't have to be so crazy. But like, my t-shirt drawer looks like a filing cabinet, where I'm like, let me go through here. Okay, Reebok, great. Puma, cool. Wait, I need like a rotating closet. That's the next phase. Yeah,
but Kenny,
I like all the brands though.
You hit the nail on the head though, Kenny. That's where we are at Kicks and Shit. Gabby and I, we don't play that game. If you got Adidas shirt on, your kicks best be Adidas.
Yeah,
like we don't do that.
Thank you. That's what's up.
That's got to be together on that. Absolutely. But Kenny, my man, this has been
awesome.
Yeah, thank you, man.
This has been great. We are so happy to have you. We wish you nothing but continued success, not just obviously with Fisk, of course, but in life. Because as you said, and as you said in the lovely Mr. Chibbs documentary, basketball is easy. Life is hard, right? Like
Yes.
it's that bigger game. So we wish you continued success in life. Nothing but blessings, man, to you and your family. And we hope to have you on here again soon. Don't go away because we're gonna talk to you off. We're gonna talk to you after for a little bit when we're done here signing off.
Okay, my man. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Guys, that has been another exciting episode of the Kicks and Shit Show. You know where to find us: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We are everywhere at Kicks and Shit Show.
We're out here.
We are out here in these streets, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.